myself is Divya Bahal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. The subject that we are going to continue is petroleum refining and petrochemicals. So in this lecture we will study about phenol, okay, the process, flow diagrams and methodology of phenol. So here you can see that your phenol can be manufactured by various ways, okay, by using various reactants. So first is phenol can be obtained from benzene, cumin, toluene, and there is another part that is chlorobenzene caustic process, right, where you are using your NaOH also. So in yeast, the intermediate form here is what? Sodium benzoate, and followed by it hydrolysis is done, right? But that is not commercially feasible method. So these are the few processes by which you can obtain your phenol. So now moving forward, why phenol is that much important? Okay, its uses first of all. It is mainly used in making what? Phenol formaldehyde resin, which further has its many other applications. Okay, now it is a thermosetting resin. Okay. It means once the shape has been given, okay, it cannot be reheated to mold into its shape. Okay, it is a hard kind of plastic. Now, phenol formaldehyde, okay, it is further used in industrial and for the making of decorative laminates. Okay, it is also used in electrical appliances. Okay, then it is also used as a plywood and as a abrasives in the making of textile auxiliaries and in the making of varnishes. Okay. Now, phenol and acetone, when they react, they gives you bisphenol A, okay, which is further used in making of epoxy resins, polycarbonate resins, polyester resins, rubber chemicals and fungicides. So you can see that phenol acts as a very important intermediate to further make certain petrochemicals. Those have this end user applications, right? So now, first method is your phenol from cumin, okay, this is the first process we will study. So the reactions here are, first of all, first reaction is your peroxidation reaction, okay, in which your cumin and air, they gives to react cumin hydroperoxide, okay. So your first intermediate form is your cumin hydroperoxide. The second reaction is your hydrolysis. This cumin peroxide, okay, it reacts with sulfuric acid to give you phenol and acetone, right? Now, let's have a look on the reaction conditions for individual reactions, okay. For peroxidation reaction, your aqueous emulsion is prepared, okay. The agents used are what? NaOH, okay. So the emulsification agent used here is NaOH, and the operation condition is what? At normal temperature and pressure, this reaction is carried out. Now for hydrolysis, okay, you are using 10 to 25% strength of sulfuric acid, okay, and the operating condition is that at 55 to 65 degrees Celsius temperature you are operating your reactor, and the pressure condition is at atmosphere, okay. So moving forward, this is the flow diagram, right? So starting from oxidizer, you can see that your reaction is moving forward. So let's have a look into the process. So first of all, your fresh cumin and hydrogenated unreacted cumin, then cumin plus alpha methyl styrene streams, okay, these streams are collected. So here you can see that your cumin, then your recycled cumin is there, and from you can see methyl styrene plus cumin recycle, okay. Those three streams we are treating, those three streams we will be using in your reactor, okay. Now, first step is your pre-purification, okay, converting your alpha methyl styrene to saturates in presence of nickel at 100 degrees Celsius. So here you can see that your methyl styrene, okay, hydrogen is added, it means your unsaturated double bond, that is converted into single bond. So hydrogenation reaction is carried out, okay. Now the reactor, oxidizer is your reactor here. Oxidation reaction occurs to give you what? Cumin hydroperoxide in presence of alkali emulsion, okay. We used what? NaOH. The pH maintained here is what? 8.5 to 10.5. So you can see all these three streams are going to your oxidizer where oxidation reaction occur. The next step is cleavage unit. So what is this unit? In this unit, hydrolysis occur, okay. So you can say it is a hydrolyzer. So here what you are adding, H2SO4 is added, okay. In presence of what? Aqueous sulfuric acid, you are carrying out your hydrolysis reaction. Now This reaction mixture is then sent to settler, where separate phases are formed. One is phenol-rich phase and another is your acid-rich phase. Phenol-rich phase means what? It is organic-rich phase. Okay. So here you can see that it is going to separator. Now, from separator, your phenol-rich phase. Okay. Your phenol-rich phase is what? It has phenol plus cumin plus acetone plus alpha-methylstyrene plus acetophenone. Okay. So this is what organic compounds are there. So it is also called as your organic-rich phase. Now this is then sent to water scrubber, where water extracts the remaining acids in the organic stream. So here you can see that your wash tower, okay, you're washing it with water so as to remove extra acid which is present. Okay, so this is now your crude phenol, which is then sent to distillation column. Okay, so here now you can see that all these four columns are your series of distillation columns. Okay, individually different components are separated out. Like in first column you can see that from top you are getting what? Acetone. Then in second column, which is operated under vacuum, you are getting your unreacted cumin. Okay, in third column, which is again operated under vacuum, you are getting your methylstyrene, which is recycled back okay, to your oxidizer. Then in the last column, okay, which is again operated at vacuum, you get your phenol, and the bottom product is what? Acetophenone, right? So these are what? Four series of distillation column which separates your organic components. Okay, so this way you get your phenol. Now about the major engineering problem. First is gas with two-phase liquid contact. Okay, here liquid, as there are many components. Okay, so in liquid also there would be two-phase liquid will be there. So you have to maintain contact of gas with both the phases of liquid, right? So hence what we are doing, you have to disperse the gas into this media. Okay, hence in the cleavage also you can see that always a stirrer is kept so as to create as much as contact between the gas and the liquid present, right? The next is your cumin peroxide. Okay, your cumin peroxide, which is formed as an intermediate. Okay, it is an explosive when it is accumulated. So your design has to be such that less amount of your cumin peroxide is trapped. Okay, it should not trap in your reactor. So this was about your major engineering problem. Now the next method is your phenol, which can be obtained from toluene, right? So your reactant is what? Toluene. So the reactions which are carried out here is, first of all, the oxidation to give you benzoic acid. So reaction is what? Your toluene, when it gets oxidized, okay, hence oxygen is used, you get your benzoic acid and water. Now the catalyst for this reaction is what? Cobalt naphthalene. Operating condition is what? That your temperature is at about 150 degrees Celsius and pressure is about 3 atm. The reaction is exothermic in reaction nature. Now benzoic acid is your intermediate. The second step of this process is that oxidation of benzoic acid to give you phenol. Further oxidation is there. So you can see the reaction. Benzoic acid, when reacted with oxygen, it gives you phenol and carbon dioxide. Now the catalyst here is cupric benzoate. Operating condition is what? The temperature is about 220 degrees Celsius and the pressure is about 1.3 to 1.7 atm. Again, this reaction is also what? Exothermic in nature. So the process flow diagram is given this way, right? So let's move forward to the process. So first of all, in your reactor, what you're keeping your toluene as a limiting reactant so as to minimize the side reactions. Okay, limiting reactant means when your reaction proceeds, toluene will get exhausted first, right? So here you can see in the reactor what you're feeding your air, toluene and catalyst. Okay, toluene, fresh toluene is also used, and certain toluene recycle is also fed to the reactor where your oxidation reaction occur. Okay, so here you can see that from the top your vent gases, okay, the gases which are produced in the reaction, you can see that water is also produced. Okay, so those vent gases are taken out as air is used. So inert gas like nitrogen is there, it is present in your vent gas. Okay, the bottom product of your reactor is then sent to distillation column, okay, where separation of toluene occur from your organic compounds. So before that, what are the impurities which are produced along with your benzoic acid? Okay, benzaldehyde, benzyl alcohol, benzyl benzoate, CO and CO2. So these are what? These are the impurities which are produced because of the side reactions. Okay. So in distillation, what we are doing, we are trying to separate your toluene from the organics. Okay, along with impurities and benzoic acid, some amount of unreacted toluene is there. So here you can see that your toluene, in the distillation, your toluene is taken out from the top and it is recycled back. Along with it is used sometimes as a reflux also. Now the organic stream, okay, it is then sent to hot wash unit where your hot water extracts the benzoic acid. Here you can see that your hot wash followed by another water wash. Okay, finally you're getting your benzoic acid, which is then sent to second reactor. Okay, then it is sent to oxidation reactor. Second reactor where air and cupric benzoate are fed. Okay, cupric benzoate is what here? Your catalyst. Okay, so here you can see that your second reactor where further oxidation occur. Okay, so you can see air is passed along with catalyst. Right. Next, phenol is produced in both vapor phase and in liquid phase also. So here you can see that top and bottom part. Okay, both in vapor also and in liquid also your phenol is produced. So here you can see that from the bottom you are getting your liquid phenol, which is again then sent to your distillation column. So now you can see that these are the series of your distillation column which separates your phenol from the various other impurities. Okay, the top of your second reactor, okay, vapors of phenol, they are again sent to your fractionator, okay, where benzoic acid, unreacted benzoic acid is taken out. Okay, so series of separation steps are there to extract phenol from your both the phases. So now about the major engineering problem. Now, efficient gas-liquid contact design and the economic recovery of organics. So these two are the main problems of your toluene process to make phenol. Okay, efficient gas liquid contact. Okay, as much as contact would be there, then and only then your reaction will produce, will start, right? And economic recovery. So here you can see that from the second reactor, okay, after second oxidation reactor, you can see the series of distillation columns are used so as to recover phenol. Okay, so this adds into your cost of the process, right? So these two are the main design problems of your process. The next process is your phenol from benzene. So here reactant uses what? Benzene. Now, even when we are using benzene, there are many methods by which you can obtain your phenol. So like you can see the reactions like when benzene hydrochlorination is used to form benzene chloride followed by the hydrolysis to give you phenol. So your first method is what? Hydrochlorination of your benzene. The second is benzene chlorination to form benzyl chloride, which is then transformed to sodium benzoate via caustic method. Okay, so here what you are doing, here instead of hydrolysis of benzyl chloride, you are subjecting into caustic way, right? NaOH is added to give you what? Sodium benzoate. So this is also another method to form your phenol from benzene. Another process is that benzene sulfonate process. In this process, benzene is converted to benzene sulfonate using sulfuric acid, and then neutralization is done followed by fusion and acidification. So you can see that from benzene also there are this many methods to make phenol. So here we will study about phenol using hydrochlorination method. Okay, so we are studying here hydrochlorination of benzene to make what? Phenol. So the reactions are what? First reaction which occurs, of course, as it is hydrochlorination, right? Benzene plus hydrochloric acid plus oxygen. It gives you benzyl chloride plus water, right? So the catalyst used here is what? Ferric chloride, FeCl3 plus CuCl2, cupric chloride, right? Operating condition is what? At temperature of about 240 degrees Celsius and pressure is at atmospheric condition. So this is your first reaction. Intermediate formed here is what? Benzyl chloride. Now second reaction here is benzyl chloride is reacted with water, hydrolysis, right? It gives you what? Phenol and HCl. So here you can see that HCl regeneration is there. Hydrochloric acid is regenerated here and recycled. The temperature is what? 350 degrees Celsius and pressure is about atmospheric condition. Now the catalyst used here is what? Silica dioxide, SiO2. Okay. So the process flow diagram is here shown. let's move to the process. So first of all, in extractor, what is happening? Benzene is extracted from phenol from the recycle stream. Right? Now, benzene plus phenol stream goes to distillation column where benzene and phenol are separated. Now from the extractor, okay, you have benzene and phenol here. It is then sent to where? It is sent to distillation column, where from top you can see that purified C6H6. What is it? That is your benzene. Okay. So, and from the bottom you are getting your phenol, which is again sent to where? Phenol purification column. Right. Now, pure benzene is fed to the reactor with HCl and oxygen at 220 degrees Celsius, right? Hydrochlorination reactor, your purified benzene from your distillation column is reacted here along with your HCl, which is recycled, okay? We saw here HCl is regenerated and recycled here. So, in your hydrochlorination reactor, your first reaction occurs, okay? Benzyl chloride is formed here. So, now, the conversion is very low here, only 20% of your benzyl chloride is formed. Now, then the reaction mixture is sent to where? Fractionator, where your unreacted benzene and benzyl chloride is separated. So, here we can see that it is then sent to where? It is sent to fractionator. Okay. So, here you can see that unreacted benzene is separated. Now, then it is sent to absorber, where your phenol is used to purify benzyl chloride. You can see that from the fractionator, the crude Cl, you can see that is your crude benzyl chloride. It is then sent to scrubber, the two scrubbers which are attached with each other, okay. Here you are using phenol, okay. The phenol which is formed, a part is recycled back and it is used as an absorber, okay. It absorbs your benzyl chloride right from the reaction mixture. So here you can see that it is used to purify the benzyl chloride. Now this purified benzyl chloride is then sent to hydrolysis reactor, where your benzyl chloride, it is reacting with water in presence of your silica dioxide as your catalyst to give you what? To give you phenol, right? So here you can see that from the scrubber, okay, from scrubber 2, it is then going to the hydrolysis reactor where water is also added, okay. So now what is happening? You are getting your phenol along with your water, okay. The phenol which is obtained, it is then sent back to where? Scrubber 1, okay. Where in scrubber 1, what is the use of phenol? It is purifying your benzyl chloride. So here you can see the cycle which is going on, right. So now it is then sent to condenser, where partial condensation is done to separate off your HCl. So now phenol rich phase, the phenol which is formed here, a part of it is used in absorber to purify the benzyl chloride. So this is the process of your making of phenol from benzene, right, using hydrochlorination method. Now the major engineering problems of this method is, first of all, the design of reactor to minimize the production of dichlorobenzene by giving low residence time and low conversion, okay. So here along with benzyl chloride, there are chances of formation of what? Dichlorobenzene also. So your reactor design should be such that low residence time is there, okay. Your reactants spend less time such that low conversion occur. That is the reason only 20% of your benzyl chloride is formed, okay. Because if you are trying to achieve more conversion, right, then instead of benzyl chloride, your dichlorobenzene will be formed. The next problem is the problem of corrosion, because HCl vapors are there and the temperature is also high. So as to avoid the corrosion, what we do, the application of ceramic is used in the reactor, which again increases the cost. So this was about the process of phenol formation from benzene, right. So that was for today's lecture. Thank you.